You think, that is the way it is. There's no possible way it couldn't be. And you got to wrap your mind.
Okay, I'm going to go on the record right now, pause the show, and say Jeff is not a pothead. I've never seen him smoke marijuana, and right now you sound like a pothead. But you're making a lot more sense.
I know, but it's...
But he's not.
And I can explain to you why it's not making sense. It's because it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to anyone. It can't make sense because we haven't experienced it. We haven't done it. You can't explain something to someone who hasn't done it. It's like seeing color if you've never seen it. I can't make that make sense to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have to understand that it makes sense.
Speaking of someone who's blind, again, the topic of random overflow, what would you rather be, deaf or blind?
Deaf.
Really?
By a long shot.
Really? I've asked this question to a lot of people, but just imagine the beautiful noise that you hear known as the Random Overflow radio show.
Yeah, but you can always convert it to text. The same thing isn't true for if you lose your sight.
Yeah, you could also feel the vibrations of the music, I guess.
I can't take a picture of the Grand Canyon and say that to you. But
you could try your best, but if you've never experienced, if you were born blind,
I can't explain to you. It's the same thing of with aliens. You can't explain it. It's impossible. Our brains just aren't made that way.
Yeah.
But you can also, but on the same card, I can take audio and make it something that you can see. You get what I'm saying? It's far easier for me to do that than it is to do it the other way.
Okay.
So that's pretty much my feeling on that.
And now you know.
But back to aliens.
Back to them aliens.
They sucked me up and stuck that pearl braid up. I don't even know where that started. Did some guy just get...
What about crop circles?
It's some people with
serious.
way too much time on their hands.
But there's so many of them. I remember as a kid growing up, my family is really weird, and my uncle has always been that one uncle who always wants to do crazy things. He goes, "Hey, I got a get-rich-quick scheme." And we lived next door to this big, huge... You remember seeing my childhood home. I brought you there. And we lived next door to this big, huge cornfield. And my uncle one day had the idea that I could sell concessions in the front yard with all the spectators that would come to look at this. And he said that I would make so much money. And this was his get-rich-quick scheme. Dude, you can't make this up. My family is this weird. And he goes, "Oh, but first we can't leave prints in the sand." So he had a whole bunch of or in the dirt footprints. Yeah. So he got wash rags. And he wrapped him around his feet and then duct taped that to his shoes. Dude, I swear to God.
I completely believe you.
And he goes, "We're going to take this here board and we're going to drill a hole through it and put a rope through that and we're going to step on it." And my dad, who is always the smart one, and this is his brother who's got this idea, my dad goes, "Are you stupid? You're going to go destroy my neighbor's farm field?" And my uncle goes, No, the corn just pops right back up. All we do is bend it over.
Oh, jeez.
And he goes, "Come on, it'd be fun for the kids." And it'd just be... And my uncle is seriously trying to convince my dad to let him do this. And my dad is like...
But this goes...
What are you doing?
This goes back to my ultimate alien debunking theory.
Yeah.
Why would they do it?
To send messages.
But if they can fly a spaceship across the universe, why wouldn't they just drop a letter in my mailbox? You get what I'm saying? It's really the ultimate way to debunk alien things is just why? Why would they do that?
Yeah.
It's like the aliens suck up a cow. Why?
You've heard about that cattle mutilation where they just mutilate the animals.
Yeah, it's some guy getting his six kicks. I'm sorry. I am sorry, but that is what it is. Why would they leave the body? Why? Why wouldn't you just suck it up and keep it? Seriously, think about this. Why would you put it back?
Moo.
Yeah, there was probably a lot of mooing while the guy was
having it. Stop it.
Okay, that's the only thing I got to say.
Okay. Now, we got on this topic about how we got on this topic is there's this guy called Art Bell, and he used to have this syndicated show on AM. And
I've never seen this show, by the way.
Yeah, it was like a syndicate. You've never seen it? Well, that's because it's a radio show, you blind son of a gun. No. But anyways, this guy named Art Bell, he had the syndicated thing for a while. He was off the air for a while, and then he came back on Sirius XM, and I had just stumbled across it one night because I spend a lot of time driving to work every day. I live 45 minutes away from work, and I listen to all these different talk shows on XM, and I found this guy, and I really got into the show, and one day I had called in. And I had the understanding like that there's probably never a recording of this or whatever. Yeah. Well, this show was canceled back in. Well, it wasn't canceled. I guess he had some discrepancies with XM to where they weren't letting him.
Let's just say legal issues.
Legal issues, and so he just gave up, and they pulled the plug. And the other day, I was like, "Hey, I wonder. I want to listen to that." So I pulled up the video, and I was just listening, and I actually found, on accident, a video of me calling into the show. Hold on, let's see if I can back it up a little. All right.
Question for you. Remember earlier this year...
This is my voice, by the way.
A lot of strange phenomena, strange noises from the sky were reported, and it was all over the internet.
I was driving through a dead area, by the way.
I heard it.
Oh, you're kind of breaking up on me a little bit. Earlier in the year, a strange phenomena all over the internet, something.
Strange noises from the sky, Art. Do you remember hearing about them?
Yeah, I do, yes.
What is your opinion on that?
I have none particularly.
I stumped Art Bell.
About the source of them. We hear strange noises here all the time. Big
all the
booms,
time.
and we sort of know what they are. They're dropping bombs over at
Drop
Fort
the
Irwin.
bomb on me.
And when I say big booms, I mean gigantic booms. So we're kind of used to hearing strange noises, but I know what you're referring to on the internet, and no, I have no idea.
Well, you
Guess he's gone. That's sad. Well, that's the cellular world that we live in now. Now you know why we require that our guests have a corded phone.
Who uses corded phones
Sorry
these
about
days?
that, sir.
Nobody.
The gods were not smiling on you. Dark matter, and you're on
No
the
one
air.
has home phones these days.
My official feelings on those sounds.
Hold on. I remember the sounds from 2012, but apparently there's some videos where they resurfaced in 2015 and 2014. But that's because the day we live in, where everyone's got a recording device in their pocket. That wasn't available 10 years ago. So imagine if we had all these iPhones and stuff 100 years ago. From then till now, I think that the recordings and evidence of strange phenomenons would be astronomically higher. But
I mean, no one had a way to report this, and the average person never believed.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that at all. You know, it's something that a lot of people don't.
Here's the noises I was talking about. This is what I was talking about when I called into Mr. Bell's show back in 2013. Strange sounds also in Switzerland. Now, the way that this isn't a hoax is because this happened all over the world, and
I don't think it's a hoax at all.
On like the same day, same time, it's
definitely real.
This happened all over the world, and people. This is 2012, so everyone basically at this time had the recording device in their pocket,
and they thought the world was going to end. But keep playing it.
Oh yeah, that was when everyone thought the world was going to end. I remember counting down to that. Hold on, we'll get to the video in a second. I remember New Year's Eve that day. I had my laptop with a whole bunch of those countdown timers on there.
Yeah,
on the screen because I wanted to see what they'd look like.
I think it's hilarious because the real explanation of why the Mayan calendar ended.
No.
Because some guy was sitting in his house, and he goes, I'm 2,000 years ahead. What the hell am I doing? You know what I mean?
What do you mean you're 2,000 years ahead?
The guy making the calendar. Because that's why everyone thought the world would end, is because the Mayan calendar.
You're talking about the Mayan who wrote it.
The guy's probably just sitting there in his house, and he's like, I'm 2,000 years ahead. Some guy in the next 2,000 years can keep carving this damn rock. That's the real explanation of why the Mayan calendar ended. Because the guy's just like, in the next 2,000 years, some other guy can start carving this damn rock. That's the real
what my
explanation.
personal opinion was on this. I wasn't one of the people. I mean, I was certainly.
Do I not have a point though?
I was certainly intrigued by everyone because, like, I remember the History Channel would have on these shows about the world ending on marathons every day in 2011, 2010. You remember that? Like, that's. They got ratings. They got ratings doing that because people were so worried about this happening. And remember Doomsday Preppers? Remember that show? Is it still on these days? Probably not.
No, because
they did continue after 2012, though.
Yeah, but it's not nearly as people don't think they're all going to die anymore. God,
there's probably like a next. Like the next time.
I guarantee it too.
And there were so many of them like leading up to 2012. I can't remember all of them, but there was like one day where there was like supposed to be like a bad solar flare, and everyone thought all the computers were going to be wiped out, and then of course the year 2000 when all the computers would reset and that we'd be stuck back in the days.
I gotta say something.
And I'll go as too far as my mom was worried because my little sister was born in 2000. She goes, I was worried about that because everyone was talking about about all the technology being dead, and I was going to be carrying around a little baby.
I want to say two things about those two phenomena you just said. For Y2K, why the hell didn't somebody just change the calendar on the computer and see what happened? You get what I'm saying? Like, why didn't somebody just go to the calendar?
Because they were too afraid, man. I wouldn't do that. I just spent $3,000 on this Windows 98.
Is a black hole gonna form on the computer? You get what I'm saying, though? Like, why didn't that ever cross someone's mind of, I'll just go on the calendar on the computer and see if it rolls to 2000, like, why wasn't that ever...
You were a little genius kid at that time, I guarantee.
Is that really a genius
thing? Did you try it?
I don't think I did, just because I was so young that I didn't comprehend that stuff. And then, that's just one of the things that, like, how could you not think of that? Like, what? And then the solar flare thing.
Oh, yeah, you remember that? What year was that? Like 2010 or 2009?
Somewhere around there. I just remember everyone, it's going to knock out the satellites, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Okay. We've had solar flares regularly for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
But we weren't aware of them.
We just had no idea they happened.
Yeah.
We had technology, and we didn't know they happened, okay?
Yeah.
We had telegraphs and stuff, and we actually know why some things happened, like a great outage of telegraph lines. We now know why that happened.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Was because of solar flares. And we knew this at the time that we all thought the world was going to end because of a solar flare.
Yeah.
And we also knew that solar flares were worse in the past than they are now. How do these things happen? Like, who sits in their bedroom?
Because
okay, it gets ratings.
No.
Yeah, that's the reason. I'm sorry.
Which is Jeff's number one saying: the average person is an idiot. Getting back to the video of the reason why I called into the Art Bell show. Here it is. The Strange Noises from 2012, and the actual title of this video is Sky Trumpets.
Komisch wird. Ich will gar nicht sagen, woher das kommt. Ich check das nicht. Unglaublich. Ist da
No, this isn't what I was looking at. I don't know. Let's watch it a little bit more.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This one sounds faked.
Yeah.
Just because
I'm sorry. Waste your time with that one.
I can hear the background noise fade when the things happen.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look. But no, there was these videos, and it's not a hoax because this, was.
You should type in CNN and look up the report. That'll probably have it.
All right.
You could probably find the news report, which will be a little more.
we'll type in CNN. Hopefully